Hey, welcome back to another episode of Star Power Baseball, the Rulebook. This will be episode number 23. And in today's episode, we're going to start on defensive cards for strategy. That's right, we're going to work on the defense today. I'm Dennis, your host, coming to you from the Cincinnati Razorback Room in beautiful Siloam Springs. And by the way, just get the business out of the way right quick. If you like the video, go down to the bottom of the page and hit the like button. We really appreciate that. The more likes, the better it gets. Also, make sure if you haven't to please subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers we get, the better the content gets. Now that that's out of the way, let's get on to episode 23 of Star Power Baseball, the Rulebook. All right, as you can see here on page 40 in the rule book, we're going to work with defense cards. And the first defense card, there are three of them, by the way. There's outfield, ground ball, and ground ball infield in. Okay, that's that simple. We call them infield in, play at the plate, whatever. You know, we'll get to those in a little bit. Right now we're going to deal with the outfield card specifically. All right, there are three different times to use the outfield card. And they're when you hit a fly ball to the outfield, when you hit a single to the outfield, and when you hit a double to the outfield. Remember, we also have the error spin with nobody on base here, and the spin has to land directly on the E, and then there's an error, so that's fly ball to the outfield, okay? Now, that would be on an F, a 4, or an 8 with less than 2 outs. Now, if there's 2 outs and a runner on base or something, and you hit a fly ball, it's an automatic out. Pretty simple. Single to the outfield will be used anytime the batter hits a single with runners on base. Without runners on base, just accept your single and move on, okay? And then a double to the outfield will be used anytime there's a double hit and there's a runner on first base. That's it. Other than that, you don't even need this card to use. So error spins and with runners on base, that's when you use this card. Okay? Here's how you use the outfield card when there are runners on base. The first thing you do is you spin a location spin. The location spin is the inner circle right here, right field, left field, center field. That's the first thing you do. And then the next part of the outfielder's card is for the offense to make a decision. Am I sending the runner or am I holding the runner? After that's done, then the defense chooses what to do. They can play it safe, they can go indifference, or they can go for it. Okay? If they play it safe, let's suppose there's a runner on first base and the offense says, I'm trying for third on a single, and the defense says, I'm going to play it safe and just throw to second. Then they do. The runner stops at first, runner stops at third, move on. If the offense says, I'm going to try for third, and the defense says, I'm going to throw you out if I can, then you spin the outfield card. That's simple. All right. If more than one runner's on base, then the offensive coach must declare what's happening with each runner. And then the defensive coach must react to each runner. The offense declares all the runners first. Then the defense can react to each runner in turn. But the offense declares what each runner is going to do before the defense says anything. So the offense goes first on this, okay? It's man on first and second. I hit a single, or no, let's just make it realistic here. Runners on second and third, and I hit a fly ball to center field. The offense coach says, I'm going to score from third, and I'm going to tag from second and go to third. Okay? The defensive coach says, I'm going to throw the ball to third base. Well, the batter's out, spin the outfield card, and see what happens. Move on. That's how this is done. Let's read it here. If more than one runner is on base, the offensive coach must declare what is happening with each runner, and the defensive coach must react to each runner only after the offense has declared all runners' action. Only one defensive play may be made. That is, only one defensive result spin is made. Only one. You can't go on both runners, only one. Runners that are not played upon will do what the offensive coach elected to do with them. There you go. Runners on first and second, the ball's hit to right field for a single. The offensive manager says, I'm going to score from second, I'm going to third base. The defensive manager says, I'm throwing to second. Base runner stops at first, runner at first goes to third, runner on second scores. Simple. There it is. Okay. Now, use this key. Let me move this here. Use this key right here when you have a fly ball hit to the outfield. Okay? When there's a fly ball hit to the outfield and you decide you're wanting to spin the outfield card right here, you want to spin the outfield card, this is the key that you'll use. There you go. I don't have to read that to you. You can read that yourself. All right. Let's discuss one other thing here about fly balls. Late in a game, in a tie game, and you're the visiting team, and the winning run is at third base with less than 2 outs. You have moved the infield in for a play at the plate, and now you decide to move the outfield in for a possible play at the plate. Because a deep fly ball is going to score this guy no matter what, but on a shallow fly, I may be able to throw him out. So you use this key right here. First of all, this is a run prevention defense that can only be used in the bottom of the 9th inning or later, bottom of the inning only, and only by the visiting team. The home team does not use outfield in because the ball goes over their head. It's going to be a double or a triple, so they don't get to use this. Only the visiting team in a situation of the 9th inning or later in the bottom of the inning, and it's almost always in a tie game, where that winning run is on third base. To bring the outfield in, the score must be tied and the potential winning run on third. There must be less than 2 out. When the outfield is in, the offense will choose the result on all liner spins. There's no more righty-lefty advantage. There's no more home. Well, the offense is the home team, so it's home field. Basically, it's home field advantage on every spin. On a batter spin of a 14, it's a single. The game's over. How about that? So we changed the 14 on that because we're penalizing that outfield because a 14, we're calling it a long blooper and they don't quite get to it, or a little, we're just calling it a single. Changes the key a little bit. And then your key changes also. On an A, runners advance. E, single, runners advance. H, lead runner is out. M, all runners hold. Changes, doesn't it? Yes. And X, lead runner is out, all other runners advance 1 base. So there's your key. Your key on this. Look at the card here now. Look at the card. And we go A, right there, runners advance. E is a single, runners advance. Game over. On an A or an E, the game's over. On an H, the lead runner is out. On an M, all runners hold. There's 2 big M's in there. And on an X, he's out. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, that changed it up a little bit. Now, let's go to the other aspect of the card, and that is when you get a hit to the outfield. Okay, either a single or a double. When you get a single to the outfield, first thing you do is you spin your location. The offense, spin the location, see where it's to. Then the offense declares what they're going to do. That's done after the location spin on any fly ball or base hit to the outfield. location spin, and then the offense decides what they're going to do. With runners on base, they may say, I'm going to try to advance, I'm going to try to do this, and then here's your keys for that. If there's a runner on first for a double to the outfield, find out where it's going to, who's going to play the ball. Offense determines what the guy's going to do, and then use the key right down here, double to the outfield. That's how easy that this is to do. This card right here, big time card, use it some. It's built into the new games. It's on the game board, mainly because you have to take an error spin after every fly ball. So that's going to do it for today. Today's episode of Star Power Baseball. I'm your host, Dennis, coming from the Cincinnati Razorback Room, and if you need to contact me, you can hit me up at warhammerworld@hotmail.com, and I answer all my emails. I also answer all comments that are in the comment section on the videos. If you have a comment, by all means, please leave it, good, bad, or indifferent, but do go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel, and hey, check this out. All you guys out there with APBA baseball and Stratomatic baseball and home field baseball and all those different kind of strategy baseball games, you don't have the things that we're just now talking about. And Star Power Baseball does that and much, much, much more. If you want to get involved with it, all you have to do is contact me at warhammerworld@hotmail.com. Because you guys that are throwing them out there, remember this. Dice are nice, but the spin is definitely in. I'm Dennis. I'll see you next time on Star Power Baseball.